All right, good Wednesday morning, everybody. We are live talking about a few things. We have a severe weather threat in place for today, along with pretty good chances for rain for today, tonight, tomorrow as well. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. But we'll be talking all things weather for the next 20 minutes on Facebook, on YouTube, on social media. And of course, we'll be live again at noon going over the weather timing for this evening and this afternoon, where a few storms will be possible, producing hail, gusty winds, and isolated rotation, especially north of San Antonio. We'll dive into the details in just a bit, but here's what we're tracking. A reason why it's going to be an active day is, of course, it's springtime. It's always humid this time of year, and when we have more humidity, we have more instability, warm air rising, and as temperatures climb, so does that chance for rain. So what we're tracking: wind shear in the upper levels. It's not too high right now, but through the next couple hours, we'll see these upper level disturbances move through. And when we have wind shear, aloft, you get a lot of instability, some rising air. And at the surface, with humidity so high and temperatures in the 80s and near 90 today, it's going to be a perfect environment to touch off scattered rain, scattered thunderstorms. And some of them will build into strong, potent thunderstorms that could be 40 to 50,000 feet high in the atmosphere, and that will produce a threat for hail, up to quarter to maybe golf ball size hail in some of these isolated cells as they form later on today. So we're going to talk all about that and more about the timing and the threat assessment on today's severe weather event in just a moment. First and foremost, it's May 1st. We just wrapped up April, and things have been pretty beneficial in the rain department. In the city, 11.54 inches of rain. It's great. I mean, that's above average. We're running about 3 to 4 inches above the normal for this time of year, so we're doing great. Bottom line, rainfall doing great in San Antonio and across the area as well. That number represents the airport accumulation rainfall. Of course, north side communities towards Stone Oak, towards Bulverde, towards the Hill Country, likely varying a lot. I mean, a few areas probably up to 13 to 14 inches of rain over the last 4 months for year-to-date rainfall. But the 11.54 inches of rain you're seeing right now, for year-to-date rainfall in the city, that is great. We surpassed the 2022 total, which, by the way, in that entire year, 2022 was an incredibly dry year, second driest year on record in San Antonio history. That entire year, 12 months, yielded 11.51 inches of rain. Currently, here in San Antonio for 2024, year-to-date rainfall is 11.54. So we're already beating out years like 2022. So it's putting together and giving a trend for a pretty active spring, and that's what we like to see. We do need that. We still have drought in place, and anything counts. Any drop definitely helps our land and across South Texas. Okay, outside right now it is cloudy. It is gray. We do have some light rain around, mostly scattered light activity. Temperatures 70s and even near 80 in some spots down I-35. Pearsall, Cotulla, 81, 82. Now, depending on when exactly the rain starts, that may limit the exact temperature limit this afternoon. We're forecasting a high of about 85 to 86 with a little bit of sun peeking through around 3 and 4 and 5 p.m., but that will help destabilize the atmosphere and touch off scattered rain and a few thunderstorms between 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. and as late as 10 to midnight tonight. I think we'll see another round of rain move through tomorrow morning, early Thursday, 7, 8, 9 a.m. For early tomorrow morning. Now here's radar. It's not terribly active right now, but you can see as I stop the clock, mostly just scattered light rain in the area. It's 11:14 currently. We have some light rain between, let's say, Lackland to Von Ormy, between the west side of San Antonio, SeaWorld area. And, this is measurable rain, but there's no lightning associated with it. There may be a couple of moderate downpours at best near Somerset on the southwest side of San Antonio. East side of Bexar County, it is quiet. And you'll see north side of San Antonio towards, let's say, Helotes, the Rim, Fair Oaks Ranch, Bernie, Lake Hills, parts of Medina County, all seeing just mostly light rain at the moment. Let's switch off this radar and show you the sweeping radar. And this gives a better representation on what exactly is out there. It's more of a high-res radar, and you'll see as we're sweeping, right, on the radar, these just little green dots representing just light areas of rain. And that's about it at the moment, right? And through the next couple hours, I think this rain coverage will increase, and so will the potential of a few thunderstorms and some lightning. But that's a look at some of the rain out there at the moment. So if you're heading out to lunch, you should be fine. Roads are fine, mostly dry. There will be a few areas of patchy drizzle, patchy light rain between now, which is 11:15 a.m., through about 1 o'clock. But after 2 and 3, things get a little bit more active, and I think by this afternoon and this evening, we'll see a pretty good chance at some strong to severe storms. Matter of fact, here's a forecast model. By 3 p.m. today, a high-resolution model is depicting scattered rain, more of the same, but notice between here, Pearsall, Bernie, Gonzales, Hallettsville, towards Victoria, and towards Port Lavaca and the coastal bend, there will be a couple of these isolated cells that produce gusty winds near 40 to 50 miles an hour, some localized heavy rain, lightning, thunder, and also some large hail in some of these isolated cells. It's not going to be everywhere, but anywhere from Austin to Seguin, Gonzales, here in the city in San Antonio, and towards Pearsall, there will be a few of these downpours around, some of them producing severe parameters like hail and rotation. The tornado threat, it's low, but of course, we have to watch every cell individually and make sure everything's okay, but that is still a possibility around the area between here, Houston, Austin, towards West Texas. That is still a possibility. Now, tomorrow morning, a little dry, but notice through about 7 and 8 a.m., another round of rain comes in from the north. As it drops farther south, that may produce another potential and round of some isolated hail, gusty winds, and a severe threat for tonight and tomorrow morning. So I would say the level 2 out of risk we're seeing right now does include San Antonio, but it will continue through tomorrow morning. I would say through about 8 and 9 a.m., but this does include this afternoon, tonight, and tomorrow morning. A level 2 out of 5, a slight risk. If you zoom out, you can see the moderate to actually enhanced risk does include San Angelo. So this is where more of the widespread severe threat will be for today and tomorrow morning. With that being said, the threat of severe weather extends all the way down to Houston, Galveston, and parts of the coastal bend, more so into Live Oak County and B County, just north of George West and Beeville. But overall, San Antonio included in a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather. That's also including the Hill Country, Del Rio, Val Verde County, Maverick County, and the higher threat for severe weather today, tonight, and tomorrow morning will be in West Texas for San Angelo and parts of the Red River towards Oklahoma, where they could see another outbreak of severe weather. And some of that will be near here. It's not going to be everywhere, but of course, localized heavy rain will be a threat. Here's a forecast model. You can see anywhere from here to Hondo to San Marcos, Gonzales, LaGrange, and even as far north as the Hill Country, there will be pockets of rain that do produce upwards of 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rain in a short amount of time. In these localized cells, there could be up to 3 to 4 inches of rain. But of course, it just depends on how and where exactly these cells set up and where they drop these downpours and these beneficial rains. So just to reiterate, tonight, starting this afternoon and then through tonight, through tomorrow morning as well, flooding a medium threat, just depending on where these localized heavy rainfall rates move through. Wind gusts and hail will be the primary threats for tonight. Wind gusts, that's talking about these outflows from these thunderstorms. Sometimes they can form squall lines, and sometimes they can generate winds upwards of 60 to 70 miles an hour. So first and foremost, if you have the trash can outside, bring it inside. Bring any loose lawn items indoors into the garage. If you can, make some space. Park your car in the garage, because hail is a possibility too. On that forecast model, you saw that some of those cells will produce up to quarter to maybe golf ball size hail. Not everywhere, but there will be a couple of isolated cells between about 3 p.m. today and about 10 p.m. tonight that do produce large thunderstorms that are high in the atmosphere, and that will create a large updraft that can produce hail up to that size. Golf ball size hail. That's 1 3/4 inches to 2 inches in diameter. That's dangerous. That's going to do damage to property. Again, scattered rain, scattered thunderstorms, not widespread, but still that threat is still there for today, tonight, and for Thursday morning as well, as we see a second round of rain move through early Thursday, 6, 7, 8 a.m. Tornadoes, it's low on the threat assessment list for this afternoon and tonight, but it's still a possibility. Me and Bill are going to be here tonight watching everything, monitoring every aspect of these thunderstorms, if they're going to move through, if they're going to rotate, if they're going to near San Antonio, I-35, the Hill Country. So those are the severe weather impacts for today, tonight, and tomorrow morning. Right now, 60% coverage on that storm activity after 3 p.m. and that'll continue through 10 p.m. I think we'll see a lull in activity in the overnight, but by tomorrow morning, probably another jump in 50 to 40% in coverage of rain and thunderstorms that could produce another round of some hail. 86 Thursday, 86 Friday. We're trending drier by the weekend. Good news there, but it's still going to be warm and humid. Upper 80s for highs on Saturday and Sunday. Small chance at a stray sprinkle, probably in the morning hours. And then notice we trade off the rain chances for a lot of heat next week, Monday and Tuesday. Highs in the early to mid 90s. By Tuesday, we're near 94 to 95. It's going to be a warm day for the next couple, of course, between now and this weekend. But by next week, the heat really cranks up, and we're looking at a more summer-like pattern for May 6th, May 7th. That's early next week. What time of the day will there be hail, Astrid asks. So if there is hail in the area, it'll start as early as about 3 and as late as about 10, 9 p.m. tonight. So I would say from the early afternoon through about the late evening hours, just keep an eye on radar. Download the KENS 5 app. We'll be live pretty much all afternoon and all evening long, on air and online. I'll be here in the digital center talking about the rain, monitoring the storms that move through. This is just a forecast model, but this is what it could look like at 3 o'clock today through 4 and 5 p.m. More scattered rain. Again, not everyone's going to see heavy rain, but there will be rain around. It's not going to be widespread, but notice between here, Seguin, Floresville, George West, Bay City, towards Austin, a couple of these cells hit or missing, right? I mean, across the area, along I-35, it's a possibility. And then we'll see that through about 10 and 11 p.m. tonight with another push of some rain moving through tomorrow morning. That's 6, 7, and 8 a.m. tomorrow morning across the hill country. So depending on where you're at, depending on where you're watching from, there is a threat for severe weather today. If you're just joining us, it is quiet now, mostly just cloudy skies and light rain around this morning. And that'll be the case for the next couple hours. Generally just hit or miss drizzle between now and 2 o'clock, but after 3 p.m., that's when we could get a little active, and you can see 3 and 4 o'clock today, scattered rain, a few thunderstorms producing isolated hail, gusty winds, and some minor rotation. We'll have to watch that very closely. And anywhere from here, Bernie, the Hill Country, Timberwood Park, San Marcos, Floresville, Hallettsville, there will be these cells around that could get strong to severe fast. So keep an eye on everything. Download the KENS 5 app. We'll be live again for the next several hours. Starting probably about 3 or 4 o'clock today, I'll be live on vMix and our social media platforms, but also we'll be live on air with Bill. I'll be out there as too, 4, 5, and 6 tonight, and probably for 10 as well, because it'll be just waves of rain moving through. It won't be all night rain, but some of these storms could get severe, producing hail. So park your cars in the garage, put them under a carport. If you don't have that, find a comfort or something to block the potential of hail on your windshield, because that's going to be the main threat, as the slight risk is still in place for San Antonio for this afternoon, for tonight and tomorrow morning. And flooding, while it is a moderate threat for today and tonight, there will be some cells that do produce upwards of 3 inches of rain in a short amount of time. That'll be the main risk for some areas, especially south and east of San Antonio. But of course, 60% coverage does account for storms that could produce hail, and that's up to quarter to golf ball size hail in our area. So we'll leave it on the forecast a little longer, guys. We'll have another update at noon on KENS 5, so tune in then for everything you need to know about the weather. More content as well, so tune in to KENS 5 News at noon. And of course, we'll be live around 3 o'clock today, monitoring the rain that forms and the thunderstorms that form as well. Bill Taylor will be here, I'll be here, so we'll keep you up to date on KENS 5 social, Facebook, YouTube, you name it, we'll be on, we'll be live. And then we'll also be live tonight for 4, 5, and 6, depending on how much storm activity there is. But we'll still be live watching it, monitoring it, and keeping an eye on the sky as thunderstorms form today and tonight and tomorrow morning. And some of them will produce hail. So again, prepare for that. Tonight, park your car in the garage, make some room. If you can't, park it under a carport. If you can, get a comforter, maybe try and put that over your windshield, because I think, of course, most of us will at least just get some rain, but there will be some cells around, isolated storms that do produce up to golf ball size hail, because it's springtime, it's warm, it's humid, and that's the type of environment you need for strong, severe storms this time of year. And we're in early May, and that's typically when we see the most threats, the highest threat for severe storms. What time are we getting hail from Vanessa? So we talked about that earlier, Vanessa, as early as 3 and 4 o'clock this afternoon, And then there will be scattered storms around, and that'll continue through about 9, 10, and 11 p.m. tonight. Mostly just scattered rain, but a few of these showers will build into strong thunderstorms, and that may produce some isolated hail up to golf ball size. And we'll have to watch that very closely. But after 3 p.m. tonight, that's when rain really starts to ramp up in coverage and intensity as temperatures build in the middle to upper 80s. But there's a threat for severe weather today after 3 p.m. Thunder showers that build will be capable of producing strong hail, large hail, and strong gusty winds. So, yeah, same for New Braunfels and Seguin. It's just going to be a scattered array of thunderstorms between 3 p.m. and 10 p.m. tonight, with another round moving through tomorrow morning after 6 and 7 a.m. early Thursday morning. So scattered rain, of which could produce strong and severe storms between here, the Hill Country, I-35, San Marcos, Seguin, Lytle towards Beeville and George West. We're all going to be in this environment in South and South Central Texas that is conducive for scattered thunderstorms that could produce hail. 60% coverage of rain and thunderstorms in the San Antonio metro across Bexar County. And of course, that's going to be a higher coverage the farther north you are, towards Austin, towards West Texas, towards San Angelo, and towards Dallas and Fort Worth. So we'll leave it on the forecast a little longer, guys. Again, we'll be live at KENS 5 News at noon for the latest on weather and everything you need to know around San Antonio. But we'll be on live again later this afternoon watching radar. Bill will be here. I'll be here. So keep an eye on the sky. Download the KENS 5 weather app, and we'll see you in a few hours. Stay weather aware, and we'll see you later, guys. Be safe.